how will the eastern states face the electoral battle of 2024? That's the first question that we're looking for answers. Second, what will be the impact of the simultaneous polls, especially in Odisha? Our final question for the evening, how will the two states face the summer of 2024? Well, two distinguished guests to take us through these deliberations. Praful Ketkar, senior journalist, joining us this evening, a political analyst too, and also Ashutosh Mishra, senior journalist, joining us to take these deliberations forward. Let me first come to you, Praful. You know, looking at these two states, especially the summer, you know, that's now peaking. Is that a big cause of concern in those regions, or do they not at all matter in those states?
See, this eastern part of India sees, very, very high temperatures during summer. But traditionally what we have seen, especially in Odisha, that like Bengal, irrespective of weather, the voting percentage is higher than the national average. Again, a very peculiar pattern in these two states. Though traditionally known to be tribal dominated regions, relatively backward regions, education level or literacy level is also relatively low, industrialization is low, mineral rich states, but both these states have voted differently when it comes to the assembly and Lok Sabha polls. So it shows of the the maturity of Indian electorates, irrespective of their educational background. When it comes to making choices at the assembly level and Lok Sabha level, they are very particular and decisive about their mandates.
Let's also get in Ashutosh Mishra. Your opening thoughts on the two states and the phase that they are in, your 4, 5, 6, 7, where both the states will have a big role to play, as we reach the final crescendo of these elections.
You are absolutely right. Both these states are very important politically. I'll especially mention Orissa, where Lok Sabha and Assembly polls are being held together. And Orissa, the voter turnout has always been very encouraging. Last time also it was very encouraging. And this time, despite heat, I think people will turn out in good numbers. And that is because stakes are high for the major parties, especially the two main contestants. The Biju Janata Dal led by Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik. And since our state, Odisha is witnessing both Lok Sabha and Assembly polls together. For Naveen Patnaik, the stakes are particularly high because if he wins these polls, especially the Assembly polls, he'll be setting a record by becoming Chief Minister for 6th straight term, which will be a unique record in itself.
True.
And talking of Lok Sabha also, it's very important. Last time the party had 12 seats. And for BJP, it's very important, because BJP made a very big jump in 2019 as far as Lok Sabha is concerned. They had just one seat in 2014. But in 2019, their Lok Sabha seats jumped from 1 to 8. That was a big jump. And their vote share also increased very, very significantly, though the increase was mainly on account of the fall in Congress votes, because Congress's decline in this state has been very steep.
Okay.
So this time this is the main contest between BJP and BJD. I won't call it a three-cornered contest, because Congress is still very weak in the state.
Okay.
And I don't think I don't see any hopes of major recovery on the part of the Congress. So it will be mainly a contest between BJP and BJD. And this time it is going to be a fierce contest. This is very clear right from the beginning, the way Prime Minister has been campaigning. He has already held 4 major rallies in the state. He held a road show in Bhubaneswar. He is going to hold another road show in Puri. And unlike in the past, this time he has also directed attacks direct on the Chief Minister himself. In the past, he avoided attacking the Chief Minister or his party directly. But this time it seems to have a no-holds-barred battle. So it's going to be a very interesting battle. Campaigning has picked up from both sides, and the heat wave was sweeping the state some 2 weeks ago. But campaign continues.
Okay, Mr. Ketkar, looking at Narendra Modi and Naveen Patnaik, why do you see this particular, friendly rivalry that they two shared across from 2019 to 2024? Why has it suddenly taken a very combative turn? You know, in the way both Naveen as well as the Prime Minister, you know, sparing or having no second thoughts when it comes to attacking them personally.
See, there are 2-3 reasons. Odisha is one state, very peculiar state, where BJP, the rise of BJD was on anti-Congressism. Okay, and Congress was in opposition for a long time. But it is very interesting because BJP has gained at the cost of Congress in Odisha. And therefore, Ashutosh ji is absolutely right that how much dent that Congress gets this time, because Congress still has 7 to 8% vote share. So, depending on that, BJP's fortunes, whether BJP will be able to touch that 2-digit mark in the fight against BJD. First time in Odisha, and Ashutosh ji can correct me if I am wrong, first time ever, Amar Naveen is the very popular, kind of expression there. Our Naveen. So that kind of monony they share with the Chief Minister. But first time ever, his health has been a talking point in the elections, and bureaucrats running the government. So this is second important point. Third important point is first time ever, BJP state unit took a firm stand
going solo
against this alliance going. Otherwise, it would have been a clear sweep. But BJP said we don't want to make the similar mistake we did after 1998, and we don't want to give space now to BJD. We want to fight it, and that's why BJP is trying to carve out the maximum share. BJP is certainly going to do that in Lok Sabha elections. How far BJP is able to do that in assembly elections, that would be very interesting, because remember, Amar Naveen is still an important factor.
Ashutosh, looking at, Naveen looking for a 6th term there from Odisha, also the sympathy factor that comes into play with Naveen, and Mr. Pandyan there, VK Pandyan making a pitch that this could be Naveen's last elections. In that contest, will the voters be somewhere in a catch-22 situation when it comes to the state, when it comes to the assembly and Lok Sabha polls that come together?
See, one thing is very clear, last time what we saw in Orissa was what we call it split voting, or intelligent voting on the part of the electorate. They were very clear that they wanted Naveen Patnaik to continue his rule in the state, and they voted for him decisively in the assembly elections. But in certain regions of the state, especially in western Orissa, which is supposed to be the stronghold of BJP, there BJP won all the 5 seats, and in all it won 8 seats, which was a jump of 7 seats compared to 2014. And it was mainly on account of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's image, and there was an urge among a certain section of the electorate, a particular section of the electorate. They wanted to see him as the Prime Minister again, but they were very clear that they wanted Naveen Patnaik as the Chief Minister. And this election is very peculiar in the sense, when it started, there was an attempt by both sides, BJP and BJD, they ruled the state from 2000 to 2009 for nearly 9 years in tandem. There was a coalition government. And they had a line, but in 2009, just before 2009 elections, that alliance collapsed. And it collapsed. Everybody says that it collapsed because there could be no seat adjustments. They did not agree on seats. But there were many other factors. One very important factor was that this election followed in the wake of major riots, communal riots in Kandhamal, which happened following the killing of VHP leader Swami Lakshmananand Saraswati. So there is a perception among intellectuals, a certain section of intellectuals, that Naveen had begun to consider that BJP had become a liability for him and he wanted to get rid of it. But it is strange that on the eve of these elections, there was an attempt for a patch-up. There was an attempt for revival of that alliance, but it could not be revived because of many reasons. One important reason was that they could not agree on the number of seats, and on the particular seats that both sides wanted to contest. And that is why, since the alliance could not come through, that is why this contest has become all the more fierce.
Okay.
And like Mr. Ketkar said, he is absolutely right that there is a sympathy factor which favors Naveen in the sense that this could be his last election.
Okay.
And yes, Amo Naveen, that is the slogan. It's true.
Okay, let's now shift to Jharkhand. Praful, your thoughts especially on Jharkhand, looking at the former chief minister in the jail. You've got Champai Soren who's running the elections, and talk on the ground is that post June 4th you could again see a change in the chief minister.
We really don't know whether it's Champai Soren or Kalpana Soren who is running the
That's why I
campaign for
said
JMM.
post-June.
So, Jharkhand Mukti Morcha, Jharkhand is a very strange state, and I am saying this from the national point of view because, in Delhi, still there is a perception that BJP is supposed to be the, disconnected with tribals or not, very pro-tribal party kind of thing. But the fact is, since its inception, BJP has performed well in this tribal-dominated state, and the way BJP has performed in last two elections, especially 2019 elections, it is really remarkable. Especially the seat that you discussed today, Kodarma. Annapurna Devi. That time, Babulal Marandi was a joint candidate. Babulal Marandi had rebelled against BJP and he had formed Jharkhand Vikas Party. He could secure only 25% vote despite support from Congress and JMM. And Annapurna Devi secured 62% vote share. That is a massive victory. Similar to Hazaribagh. Since 1998 when Yashwant Sinha contested from there, it has been BJP's. So, despite being a tribal state, Jharkhand has voted when it comes to the national elections decisively in favor of BJP. That is a very remarkable thing.
Okay, Mr. Mishra, final word on Jharkhand. How do you look at Jharkhand elections that play out? Looking at the former chief minister in jail, how things have been. Champai Soren managed to win a trust vote here in...
Absolutely. Really interesting, like Mr. Ketkar said. So it's a strange state, and the battle in Jharkhand is going to be decisive this time, for both the sides.
Okay.
And India bloc, I think they have lots of hopes in that state.
Okay.
And the BJP as well. And since there were a number of allegations against the former chief minister, but now his wife, she is campaigning for him. She is the face of the campaign. So let's see how it pans out.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Appreciate both of you joining us this evening on the show. But remember, the great Indian elections journey continues. I appreciate both of you, Praful Ketkar and Mr. Mishra, for joining us this evening, taking these deliberations forward, helping us understand those two eastern states.